Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 18 of the Walk with Ethan Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black. And today we're talking about the games from Tuesday, June 2nd, all the way to uh, yesterday, Monday, June 8th. I do apologize for no episode on Thursday. I was away on a work trip, so that's why I wasn't available. But to make it up, we're just going to talk about the games for this past week. Obviously, there was really too many anyway, so let's just get started with some NHL kick off with Tuesday, June 2nd from last week as we recorded. We kick off game one of the Stanley Cup Playoffs between the Eastern Conference champions Carolina Hurricanes and the Western Conference champions Vegas Golden Knights. Carolina hosting Vegas for this game, and this was at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Vegas wins with a score of 5-4. The Thomas Hogan, his fourth for the playoffs, 16:36 into the third period. So they take the series 1-0. Your three stars are Shea Theodore, your first star from Vegas Golden Knights, Nikola Ehlers, your second star from Carolina Hurricanes, and Brett Howland, your third star from the Vegas Golden Knights. No games on Wednesday the 3rd, so we go to Thursday, June 4th. What game two between Carolina and Vegas? Carolina again hosting Vegas, but this time Carolina wins on home ice with a score of 4-3 on overtime. And by the entire series is all 8 p.m. Eastern, by the way. So, so the Seth Jarvis getting his fourth of the playoffs, 3:56 in the overtime. So your first star is Seth Jarvis from Carolina Hurricanes. Jordan Staal, your second star from Carolina Hurricanes, and Logan Stanko is your third star, also from Carolina Hurricanes. So that series is tied 1 apiece. No games on Friday the 5th, so we go to Saturday, June 6th. Game 3 between Vegas and Carolina. This time, Vegas is hosting Carolina, and they get to win 5-4 in second overtime. Technically, if the first two goals did count, it actually probably would have been 7-4, but and people are wondering if they forgot or didn't watch. So the first two goals the originally Vegas had, the first one was because of offside. I'll be honest, when they first originally said it was offside, Mark Stone did get the opening goal, but I was like, there's no way he was offside. But when they look at the replay, I think it was Howden that was or Hurd or one of them. I can't remember which one it was offside. So, and the second time, the second original goal was goalie interference. So the first official goal came from Thomas Rowe power play goal, his fifth of the play, second period in 10:26. They originally had the 4-0 lead before Carolina came back in the third to tie things up. But Shea Theodore gets his sixth of the playoffs and second overtime 5:30 into that. So Vegas takes the series 2-1, and your three stars, all from Vegas Golden Knights. Shea Theodore, your first star. Mitch Marner, your second star, who got a hat trick in this game, by the way. And Bray McNabb is your third star. And I'm glad to see Bray McNabb was okay. If on game two, he took a puck right to the face, so ouch. So no games Sunday the 7th or yesterday, Monday the 8th. So now we're just going to preview the next couple games. I am able to record Thursday. So the only one game tonight, actually, 8 p.m. Eastern, game 4 between Vegas and Carolina. And Vegas is again hosting Carolina. So Vegas looks to take a 3-1. Carolina wants to tie the series. And then no games tomorrow, June 10th. So before I go back to Thursday. So that is your NHL stuff for the week. And then we're going to jump over to AHL with some Calder Cup playoffs as we go to game 3 between Chicago Wolves and Colorado Eagles. Chicago hosting Colorado, but Colorado wins on Chicago's home ice with a score of 3-2. And then we go over to Wednesday, June 3rd. We had game 4 between both conference finals. So from the east side, we had Toronto Marlies hosting the Wilkes-Barre Grand Penguins. And the Penguins get the win on Marlies' home ice with a score of 4-3. So that series is tied 2 apiece. And that was at 7 p.m. Eastern, and game 2 was at 8 p.m. Eastern, Chicago and Colorado. And again, Chicago hosting Colorado, and Chicago wins with a score of 2-1. So that series is also tied. No games on Thursday, June 4th. So we go to Friday, June 5th. Both games again. So on this night, Toronto and Colorado look to end their series at 6 games, but only one of them does in the Eastern Conference. Toronto are your Eastern Conference champions. They defeat the Penguins. Mars did host the Penguins 2-1 in overtime. So the Marlies are your Eastern Conference champions. And then game 5 between Chicago and Colorado. Chicago I'm sorry, Colorado beats. Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I do messed this up, but that was my fault. June 5th, Tromars beat Penguins, like I said, 5-1. They did not win the series. That was game 5. I do apologize. That was my mess up there. So Mars take the series 3-2. My apologies about that, ladies and gentlemen. And then Colorado beating Chicago 7-3 on Chicago's home ice. So Colorado takes that series also 3-2. So my apologies for the mess up. No game started June 6th. So we go to Sunday, June 7th. Okay, here we go. Now this is the right set of games. I did mess up on the Penguins one. Both faced for game 6, as like I said, Colorado and Toronto look to end the series. But Toronto does it on Wilkes-Barre Penguins home ice, as Penguins they host the Marlies for game 6, and they win overtime 2-1. So Toronto Marlies are your Eastern Conference champions. This was at 6:05 p.m. Eastern. Then game 2 at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Colorado Eagles looks to pull Toronto Marlies and win it in 6. Chicago tried to post it at 7, and Chicago does, winning on Colorado's home ice with a score of 3-2. So that series is tied 3 apiece. And then on last night, Monday, June 8th, game 7. Colorado Eagles again hosting Chicago Wolves, but this time Chicago wins in game 7 with the score of 4-3. So they are your Western Conference, and they will meet the Traumars in the finals of the 2026 Calder Cup. So that is your AHL stuff. And I'll talk about the previews, and then I'll give my predictions for the finals because we do have the schedule up. So tonight we were supposed to have a game set between Toronto and Wilkes-Barre Penguins. Mars is supposed to host. Penguins was supposed to host Mars, but that's not happening now. So no games tonight, no games tomorrow, and then no games on Thursday. I'll just talk about it now. So we do know the schedule, by the way, for the finals of the Calder Cup tournament. So when was this made? Yesterday. This was scheduled up yesterday. So best of 7 again. So game 1 will be this Friday, June 12th, 8 p.m. Eastern, as Toronto will face Chicago. For the first 2 games, game 2 will be Sunday, June 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Before it's game 3, so games 5, 6, 7, if they're necessary. So games 3, 4, and 5 will be all in Toronto. Game 3, Tuesday, June 16th at 7 p.m. Thursday, June 18th for game 4, also at 7 o'clock. And game 5, Friday, June 19th, also at 7 p.m. Eastern. If it does, goes to game 6 and 7. Sunday, June 21st at 4 p.m. in Chicago. And game 7, Tuesday, June 23rd at 8 p.m. with Chicago. So I'm actually going to go with Chicago winning in 7 to take the Calder Cup. So I think Western Conference is gonna win. So I'll keep there updated. So that is that, and then we're gonna jump over to the ECHL to close out the episode with their Kelly Cup. We'll talk about the semifinals and finals. Because when I last left off, Game 6, Twin Kansas City and Fort Wayne Comics didn't happen yet because we do. So the winners would meet the Eastern Conference of the Florida Everblades, who are representing the Self Division in the finals. So game 6 on Tuesday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern, Kansas City Mavericks did defeat the Fort Wayne Comets 4-3 in overtime. Mavericks winning on home ice for that one. Game 7 would have been on Wednesday, June 3rd at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City would have hoped for its way, but did not need to happen. So Kansas City Mavericks are your Western Conference champions, so they'll take on the Florida Everblades in the finals of the 2026 Kelly Cup. And we actually did get some of the finals part of the finals already started. So the schedule was game 1 was on June 5th, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Game 2, June 6th, 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Game 3 on June 10th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Game 4, June 12th, 7:30 as well. And 5 for 7 if they're necessary. Game 5, June 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Game 6, June 15th, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. And June 17th, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. So Florida Rays faces the Kansas City Mavericks for games 1, 2, 6, and 7. And games 3 for 5, Kansas City is in Florida. So in that series, Kansas City Mavericks are actually winning that series so far 2-0. On game 1, they won 6-0 before on the day later, June 6th, they beat them 5-2. So their next game will be tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. This time, Florida Everblades will host the Kansas City Mavericks. And by the way, I have Kansas City winning the Kelly Cup this year. So on Thursday, we should be able to know the series. So Yeah, so the ladies and gentlemen, that's the show for this week. I'm your host, Ethan Black. I'll be back on Thursday talking about the shows from the game, sorry, from Tuesday and Wednesday. Have a good week, guys, and stay safe.